Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy freaking Monday.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mercy, mercy, mercy. So you guys are stuck with me, Bernie, and Peyton this morning as we harass the hell out of Camille. Keith had a business morning and Stevie wasn't feeling well, so you just get us. But Peyton, you were trying to tell us a story right before had the show went live. Finish your story.
Yeah. Camille showed me her coffee cup. It was a cauldron, right, Camille?
It is. It is a Harry Potter cauldron. So that is most mornings. That's where the coffee goes. I love it.
Just a little witchy feeling in the morning, just to
little witchy feeling.
Witchy. I just want to make sure I heard that right.
I have expected pirate garb today, Camille. Just be honest.
Did you really?
Absolutely.
A little bit, yeah.
You gotta cue me early if you want garb because I gotta plan that. I would have had to wake up an hour earlier to make sure there was garb.
But we went thrift shopping this weekend, and there was like a kitchen section, so we're going through all the kitchen stuff. I don't know why. We're in a motorhome. I can't buy any of the glass shit. But at the bottom of the cups in the back was a big metal, like, chalice almost. I went and grabbed it, and on the front of it, it says 6th Annual TRF, Texas Renaissance Festival, from the 6th year.
Wow.
Snagging that. It's so cool. It's downstairs right now. I should have grabbed it in time, but seeing your cauldron made me think of it, and I was
that was a quality find.
Yeah, right. Like $20. Absolutely.
That's amazing. I love that.
So, Peyton, I'm pretty stoked for tonight.
Yeah.
So Peyton sent me a message, a couple weeks back, and said, "Would you and Elizabeth be interested in this?" And so Peyton, Jen, friends of ours, Joe and Nikki, we are going to see the Labyrinth at the movie at the Majestic Theater with a full orchestra.
Oh, that's
we're gonna play the movie and have a full orchestra going the entire time. I'm so stoked for this.
It's gonna be sweet. I'm so.
I hope they never. There's rumors they're gonna redo the Labyrinth or make a Labyrinth 2, and I'm so pissed.
No, it's not.
I don't understand why they try and go back and fix the same thing with Never Ending Story. They're gonna do that again.
It's just lack of new ideas. Lack of new ideas.
I mean, I've read so many amazing fantasy books that should have became movies, like the series called Fablehaven that should totally become a series because it's so different than anything else. And I'm reading a book right now by Brandon Sanderson that. The whole storyline is freaking cool because a guy they figure out there's dimensions and stuff, and you can now pay to go back to the medieval times, but as a person now. So, but the whole thing is the guy going back to medieval times, but he's also reading the pamphlet that came along with the marketing material, and that's read by another person, the gal's voice. And so it's like the novice guide to wizardry or something like that. And it's actually really fucking hilarious. Listen to this guy try and be medieval and everything through the process. Shit like that should become movies, not just redoing everything that there was good in the past. It drives me nuts. They can't get more creative.
Yeah, they're afraid to take the risk.
They are. Well, I mean, if you're not spending $100 million on a movie nowadays to make it, it's really hard to make a good movie.
I mean, also look at the Labyrinth, like working with puppets and stuff. That was a massive risk. You don't know if anybody's gonna like that shit. But it took off.
So it's just insane to me. And let's admit, part of the Labyrinth is creepy as fuck.
It's weird. I watched that as a child, and I was like, I don't know what's happening here.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Like Wizard of Oz, the monkeys still scare the shit out of me. So I hate those damn monkeys. So can't they make the puppets like nice and cute and shit? No, they want to scare the shit out of you with.
That's what Sesame Street was for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's favorite was the Yip Yip aliens, right?
No, I still like the old bastards up in the balcony. Those
they were hilarious too. Yeah.
Those are
Muppets was definitely a gateway drug to other Muppets. And so now we're stuck on the Labyrinth.
So sad story for me. Back in my bartending days, when we might have partook in way too much dope that we should have ever done, we, after a shift at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, drunk off our asses and high in hell, one of those infomercials come on, and it's the Best of the Muppets, where you could buy the entire Muppet series. And of course, they only show the highlights, right? And so you're laughing your ass off, stoned as hell, drunk as all get out. And so my buddy Joe ended up paying like $200 for this huge box set of all the Muppets. And then we got it in. We were all so excited. We didn't realize how bad the Muppets actually were. Like, watch the entire show. Like, the only thing that they did in the infomercial was show the shit that made you laugh. We sat there so excited to watch this, and we're like, wow, this is really bad. So,
does he still have it?
I don't know. I don't know. The lesson learned is don't watch infomercials when you're drunk and high. That's that. So
I'm surprised you didn't already know that.
Well, you know,
you'd be surprised by the things Donnie doesn't know.
There's a couple of years in there that I just flat out don't remember. So I mean, that's why I never want to run for president. So I don't know what happened in my 20s.
That might come up.
I don't think you have to worry about running for president.
No, for sure. Let's play that game, P.
Can do. Cool. This morning we're doing word puzzles. And they should be fairly simple, but I know I should remember all of the answers, and we're going to see if I still remember all the answers. We're going to start with common sayings. Ones that you have heard people say before. It's not just one word you're trying to figure out the answer to. So this one is obvious. No, it's not.
E-go-go?
E-go-go is what everybody goes to. That's good, but it's not right. I've never heard that.
So it's supposed to. This is a saying.
Correct.
Everybody
ready, go.
Red E, go. That's close.
You're getting much closer. Red E is correct. How many goes are
ready,
there?
set, go would make sense. But
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. Okay.
Got it.
There you go. See, that's a saying.
We needed a little prompting there.
That's why I'm here.
And help us in the comments too, guys. Because we're slow.
Because it's early and we need help.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I tried to make them like somewhat easy. We're gonna see how this goes.
Eat your pets?
No, that is actually not a saying I have ever heard.
Down pets.
That looks like a step.
Yeah.
Step up. Late. Step up. Late.
Plate.
Y'all
Step
are right
up to the plate. Step up to the
yes.
plate.
You're right there. You're so
Look. Okay.
Yeah, look.
Look dark. Look fade.
No, fade is close. There is a one side is definitely darker
than the other.
Yeah.
Look into the light.
You're getting really close, but it's not look into the light. Look.
That was a good guess, Camille.
I would say look on the
bright
look
side.
on the bright side.
Bright side.
Yeah.
Is that a song?
Yes.
Probably,
please don't sing.
Trust me. That's one thing. Fade to black. Ooh, that was a good guess.
It's a good guess.
Grandma, grandpa.
This one's not one that I even know what the saying is used for, but I've definitely heard it. So this is the family tree.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Bob for apples because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree type thing, but I don't know.
You're going a little
redheaded stepchild. What comes to
because
he's off to the side, right? It's the red circle.
What is Bob?
I guess Bob, your uncle.
Bob's your uncle. I know. I've heard the saying, but I don't know. See,
Julie knew it.
Julie got it.
Bob's your uncle. Oh, a bunch of people getting it.
Yeah,
I never.
That's because it's a Midwest saying.
Yeah, but I don't know when you say it. Like, when's the use?
I think it's when you get something right, or when something's obvious.
That's the
I
context.
don't know.
I've
Somebody
heard
in the comments help me out. That's my best guess.
I know.
Bob's your uncle is an idiom that means something is easy to do or use. That everything is taken care of.
The Midwest is weird.
That is so weird.
I'm moving on.
Spread twice. Spread her.
No, you're waking up.
2?
This is interesting. That's a 2. That is a 2.
That's a 2. I don't know where you're adding words.
Sorry, Julie. At least I'm wearing my Lions hat today.
Spread 2.
Yeah, so they are two different fonts. I'll tell you that.
I noticed that. Yeah, the italics.
Mm-hmm. So spread is thicker than the 2. So the 2 is
spread too thin.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
Very good.
I think she just described my life. Wow. Kiss the rainbow.
No, that's not a rainbow.
Well, shit. That was a saying, and they're different colors.
Spread too thin. T's on a roll. I don't know how you say it. Tie?
Tie, yeah.
Tie is on a roll this morning.
Yeah. Kiss. I mean, keep it simple, stupid comes to mind.
Yeah, no, I will tell you that it is kiss. Like, it is, kiss is in it.
Kiss the flag.
It is a flag, but what flag?
Kiss the U.S. flag? I don't know.
No.
That'd be red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid. That's what
I said, John. Yeah. No.
Said. Nope, still wrong, but it's a good guess. Like, it's where everybody goes.
Is it kiss the British flag, or I'm trying to
French kiss?
French kiss.
French kiss.
There we go.
Set in stone.
Set in stone. There we go.
One.
Yeah, Donnie's on the board. Now this one is
too
probably
good to be true.
No, but it's very close.
I beat you, Julie.
Somebody's got to. So
it's not too good.
You're getting close.
Too bad.
Not good is close. We'll say no good.
No good.
Mm-hmm.
2 rights don't make a wrong, or something. I don't know what that's saying. 2 wrongs don't make a right.
2 rights don't make a wrong. That's a Donnie saying.
That's a good one. I like that.
High quality math.
Yeah, I'm all over this shit. Give us a hint, P.
No good, and the 2 is above. The 2 is up.
No.
Up to no good.
Up to no good.
Up to no good. 2 wrongs don't make it right. I'm glad John corrected you.
An afterthought.
An afterthought.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Now we'll move on to movies. And no, it's mostly TV shows. I'll add that. It's actually, I think it's only TV shows that are the names.
I'm not going to do good at this.
Well, they're like the big ones that people know about.
Okay.
Most of them, at least.
Like Friends?
Kind of.
Little House on the Prairie?
Nope.
Full House?
No, but you're getting close. This is just
House.
House. Just House. Yeah.
Dr. House.
Yeah.
Oh, a good show.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Breaking Bad.
That one's easy. Yeah.
2.5 Men.
2.5 Men.
2.5 Men. Yeah. See, like these ones were the easy ones. I probably should have warmed up with the TV shows.
Cards. House of Cards?
No, but that everybody goes there. It's all right. You're on the right track. Breaking Bad.
Suits.
Everybody Loves Raymond was an interesting guess. Suits.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a good one.
Camille.
I was thinking this one is a difficult one, but Suits, I'm glad you got it. Like playgrounds, they're like parks.
They look like a park or a playground, but why is it the bottom one?
Parks and Recreation?
No, not Parks and Rec, but I see where you're
going.
Are they all the same?
They are all the same. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
This old house?
No, it is parks or playground. She's on the right. She's on the right track. The only hint I can give you is adding this into it.
South Park.
South Park. There we go. And that's it. That's a good one right there. We got them all out. I was surprised, actually.
We needed a few hints. We got that. But the Uncle Bob, or Bob's your uncle, I still don't get that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ty's right. I think it's an English saying.
It is. It's some British prime minister originated in 1887.
Oh, Google. Thanks, Google.
Yeah.
It was like he's either making something up or he's Googling it. Either one is a 50-50 shot.
Roll that footage.
All right, here we go.
This is Camille Diaz, a business coach with the Optimized Zone. co-creating with entrepreneurs to develop systems that are as unique as they are. The perfect balance of coach and consultant, utilizing her skills to keep you accountable and on track with your goals. You can trust her to keep you on track and challenge you to be the best you can be. And today, she gets the hot seat with the Success Champions team.
All right, Camille. Oh, I one thing before we jump into this, Camille. One thing that somebody pointed out is the summit next year is September 17th through the 19th.
Yep.
And the 19th is International Pirates Day.
Yep.
So there's been a request that it's come as a pirate on the 19th of the summit. Can you imagine having a whole... Yeah. So if you guys don't know, Camille came to the summit this year and on Pirates Day went full garb and dressed as a full damn pirate. It was pretty freaking rad.
Awesome.
I should have had it. I knew we were going to talk about it. I should have.
You find the picture while we're doing this and then throw it
off the ball.
But Peyton, I challenge you this year that we have to have a pirate ship is on the front of the stage. So when I'm on stage in full pirate garb, it looks like I'm commanding a ship. So that's on you.
We'll talk to Stevie's prop making team about that.
Have something set up. That'd be so cool.
I'm starting a petition in Circle that came up in the hobbies, and someone was like, "I loved your costume," and I was like, "I think day 2 should be Pirate Day every time." And there's getting some responses on there.
Getting some traction.
I fully support that we do a full, pirate costume outfit. Everybody come as a pirate. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go. All right, on to actually trying to help you out, Camille. Introduce yourself and tell us how we can help you, babe.
Awesome. Thank you. So I'm a couple of things, an optimization coach. I do wealth strategy, all kinds of stuff. But my big thing that I've realized at the summit this year is that I have been teaching, training, and public speaking in some form or the other for the last 25 years. No kidding. 25 years. I did the math and I was like, 1999 was 25 years ago. Oh, I've gotten old, but I love it. I love it. It's really fun for me. I absolutely enjoy doing it. I love watching that aha light bulb moment for people. And I would like to go more into the realm of professional speaking. So what I'm struggling with is figuring out what topics organizations that typically hire speakers would love to hear about. I have been told many times that when I speak, when I teach, they go, you make concepts that I thought were hard, understandable, and I feel like I can do it. Like I make things easy. So for me, I think my brain works a little bit differently. And sometimes it's hard for me to figure out, okay, where are people struggling? What are the things that are hard for them? What do they really want to know about? So all of you have great experience helping people with stuff. And I thought that would be a wonderful thing for us to brainstorm. It would be super helpful.
Yeah, no, that'd be absolutely awesome. Fun topic too. So my first question I have for you is, well, one, welcome to what everybody does when they start something new.
Yeah.
Right. The brain starts running 10,000 miles per hour and there's too many ideas coming in to figure out
way too much.
What's going on. But my question is, do you want to go speak at associations or do you want to speak in corporations?
Great question. I don't even know. I don't know what the market's like. It's a whole new ball game for me.
Yep. So there's a massive difference for associations. They're both going to require a huge upfront process, right?
Right.
But what topics you speak on will vary based off of whether you're going one direction or the other. Some speeches and things can overlap. Like you can teach universally, mindset can go, inside and out, but not a lot of people will hire you to speak on mindset in corporate or at conferences, right? So, it's easier to sell you how to get where you want to go if we know what you want to do. What I found early on trying to get into the speaking game, trying to go after the conferences and associations, if nobody knows who the hell you are, you ain't got no shot in hell. Right. It's very much a popularity game, oftentimes. So massive followings and the like help there. Go after the corporate game. It doesn't matter as much as they don't know you, as long as you have the clout and confidence to be able to have the right conversations.
Okay.
There's a crap ton of money in both. I try and tell more people go towards the corporate game, just because it's easier to network with and get to those companies.
Makes sense.
Okay. Topics. What don't you want to speak about?
What don't I want to speak about? Goodness. I don't want to speak about theoretical physics. Don't make me do math. I got a degree in biology. I could teach those things if I had to. I could go learn them and teach them. But dang, there's a reason I don't work in the lab. Like, that's a lot of brain meltage for me.
I mean, there is a market for it, Camille, and I think you should think about your areas of expertise, of course.
So things like that probably not my sweet spot. But most things I find learning fascinating. I find teaching fascinating. And I think that's why I struggle with this, is because so many times I just get all excited and I'm like, I want to help people with stuff and talk about things. And then, my brain just sort of goes in too many directions at one time because it's all fired up. So I'm thank you for trying to rein me in. I had not thought about what I would not like to do. I do know if it works out to incorporate my wonderful costumes, that would be super fun.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Right?
But I want them to work with it. I don't want it to just be a trope that I just randomly show up in costume. I want to feel like I can actually legit incorporate it and have it make sense.
So, I mean, look at this thing, right?
There you go.
Show it off in your hand. Absolutely. That thing is sweet.
Well, I'll go to Larry Roberts, right? Red hat. Bernie, his mustache, right?
Yes.
Gimmicks do work.
That's true.
If you look at
her mustache.
Huh?
Stacey Alesko and her mustache.
Her mustache, right? So look at the Savannah Bananas. The baseball team. They are the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, and they're putting on a hell of a show. And they're selling out stadiums everywhere they are. Morning, Ian.
Morning.
And so, all right, give me 3 lessons in communication that you learned from a pirate.
Oh, 3 lessons in communication I learned from pirates are quite direct, I would say. They don't really hold back or mince words. So that's kind of a cool thing to think about. You keep it simple. Right? Keep it simple. And an interesting type of respect, even though it might sound kind of harsh and gruff. I feel like pirate speech still has respect and acknowledgement for everybody that's there.
It's that simple, right? So to incorporate the costumes is just put yourself into the world of whatever costume you're wearing.
Yep.
Right.
Perfect.
And I think even start using some of that on your social media, in particular LinkedIn, right? And put the pictures, because how many different, so on your podcast, how many different episodes do you have where you're all dressed up?
I did 121 episodes on that podcast where I did the dressing up, and 119 of them, I think, have costumes, because I only did my regular wear on my solo episodes, and I think I just did the 2 solo episodes. So 119 costumes.
Right. Wow. So and I don't know if I'd recommend going that many different changes, but
no. I feel like 5 would be the max. 3 probably be more preferred. But I do have a really nice ringmaster, and I feel like that works into topics pretty easily.
Yeah.
And I think it sets you apart, because I don't know a single other person that's worn a pirate outfit on stage. I'm sure somebody has, but they're not known, right?
Yeah.
And gimmicks absolutely do work. It's like if I took off my hat and did the rest of the show without a hat, half the world would lose. Not half the world, not that many people know me, but freaking
half of SEN would lose.
Half the people that know you,
right? So all 5 people would be like, "Holy shit, he's not wearing his hat," right? So it's a big thing. Yeah. So when you and I like Mike's comment, many companies will struggle with understanding their customers and how to service them. Yeah. So that's a huge topic to put on there. Though anything that is training wise plays really well in the corporate gigs. Ringmaster of the shit show. How to
Yeah, that's a good line.
That's really great. Thank you both, Mike and Julie. I love those.
So when you think about where you want to be and you think about the audience, do you want to work with more senior management? Do you want to work with business owners? Do you want to work with salespeople? Do you want to work with just the employees and staff? I mean, is there a place you feel like you'd be better served?
I have a lot of experience with more business owners and salespeople. Having been in the entrepreneur world for so long, that's probably something that I speak their language a little bit more. So that would probably be what I gravitate towards first.
And what have you talked about in the past?
What have I talked about? Oh my gosh. Well, I've got one on focus budgeting for business that's already a paid gig coming up in November, so that's cool. I've talked about streamlining things. I've talked about mindset around how you're like scheduling your day. I've done goal achievement. I've done routines and habits, productivity types of things, calendaring. Kind of coined that word calendaring. Got one of my other groups saying it all the time. They're like, Camille's doing calendaring again. So. So yeah, lots of different topics that I've talked about before.
I really like systems and processes. I just don't know how many people are going to be looking for it.
Right. And I love it too. And I've encountered that same thing, that sometimes people will they're willing to struggle along with what they're doing. I'm not sure if it's something that they really gravitate towards.
Well, I think that's too general of a topic. You almost need to give it some type of a framing, right? Systems and processes and onboarding and, new client acquisition. And you have to give it a frame. Systems and processes, I think, is a little too generic, but that's something that definitely speaks to every business, because every business has to have standard operating procedures and processes, right? So
Ian says
framework.
Right. But the cool thing about having systems and processes is like back when I'd sold sales training, if somebody called and said, "Hey, can you come in and teach cold calling?" Absolutely. Could you teach prospecting? Absolutely. Could you teach closing? Absolutely. Whatever they requested, the answer was yes, right? It's a topic we could talk to, but we never gave them what they particularly asked for. Right. We had a couple of different speeches that we did and rehearsed and planned and knew how to implement. And that's what we would teach, through them. So even, what about getting plugged into Society for Human?
And to SHRM. Yeah.
Yeah. SHRM is a really cool organization, right?
Yeah, everybody knows the SHRM. I had no idea what the SHRM was. You just said it, and I'm like, that must be
Society of Human Resource Management. SHRM.
Understood.
So the trick with it all is you can still teach systems and processes that you just put it into your overall presentation, no matter what you're talking about. Like communication, as you're teaching communication, here's how the systems and process you build it. You'll walk them through that ideology.
I do have one that I've done fairly recently. I called it onboarding magic, and it was like the 7 steps that I see of onboarding and the client journey. It's not just they get in and they pay you and you're done. It's like the marketing, the sales, the onboarding. Then you got to service them, getting the reviews, the nurturing, all of that kind of stuff, getting the referrals back. So I feel like that's kind of a whole list of things that I could probably create talks on each one.
And then the audience for that's going to be more of your small business owners, which puts you in associations versus corporations.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Right. So just food for thought, not right or wrong. It's just, when you think about the topics, it may help point you in the direction of where you want to go. And they're both hard to break into. They really are. I know when I was first trying to get on stages when I launched the company and realized I wasn't going to get on stages because nobody knew who the hell I was, I paid to go to a conference to hear these event planners, literally teach how to get on their stages. And I'm sitting there in the middle of 400 people listening to this panel up on stage, and they're saying the same old stupid generic shit that you could get on Google, right? Make a one sheet, email all the people, and I'm just getting annoyed that they weren't actually giving us tactical advice. So because I'm such a nice, quiet, sweet person, I stood up in the middle of their speech and said, "What the fuck? I paid here because I wanted to come hear you guys figure out how to get on stages, and y'all are just telling us the same generic shit that I could have Googled." Luckily, I pissed a guy off on stage that was one of the panelists, and he stood up and looked at me, pointed a finger, goes, "Look, motherfucker, if I don't know you, you're never getting on my stage." And I said, "Worth every damn penny." Right?
That was the truth. Yeah.
Right. And speaking, no matter how you do it, it's all networking.
Yeah.
Right. You're not going to pitch and get on stages and all that stuff. You can potentially, but it's all networking. How they implement what they teach. Ooh, I actually like that.
Yeah.
Right. I love a tactical speaker, right? Nobody wants the fluff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I love too. Like, that's what I would much rather teach, is things for people to go do. I don't want to just talk about like, well, you should think about this, and then they have nothing when they leave. I want people to have a list of like, I'm doing this when I go home. Like, I really want them to leave with something. So that's always my goal.
Yeah. And Donnie implementing what they teach, break shit, Donnie breaks shit. There you
go. And let's be honest, nobody hires motivational speakers.
Yeah.
Nobody wants their audience to be motivated unless you're going to have an amazing, absolute phenomenal story. Like your top rated motivational speakers, they got there because they have just one hell of a dramatic story most times. Right. But corporations and associations want people to come in and actually teach something.
Yeah.
So systems and processes keep coming up big for you. I'm curious from you guys that are in the audience commenting along, what type of things would you guys look for, or topics and things would you guys look for that you'd want to see more of? I like systems and processes, but they've got to be very oriented towards what we're working on. Like right now we're getting ready to start doing a big marketing push. So should we do blogs? Should we do, what's the next play that we do? So having something gear like that would get me to the stage, but I don't know if that does a big enough draw to everybody to pull them in.
Yeah. I want to say, I brought this up to Donnie before, but it's about, SCN is such a great resource that if you become a approved speaker. That's the one. If you become an approved speaker, you can practice on but test out different speeches on all of the different SCN chapters. Go in and do your education moment for each individual chapter and just go down the line of every chapter they've got. So if you're trying to figure out, well, I've got 5 speeches, but I don't know which one I want to do, which one resonates more with people, test it out by just going through SCN. I mean, they're all going to do something. And everybody's going to be looking at you and turning heads one way or another. Just get out there and start talking to people, And I know you are not afraid of getting on stages, Camille, but for people that are watching, SCN does great with that. As long as you become approved first, which I am now in the process of.
Yeah, attaboy.
So let me help you with that, Peyton. Denied.
Maybe if I sing it. Maybe if I sing my speech.
No. We can't put Jimmy Neutron in front of people. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's blast.
So if you had to give you were told you're going to be put in front of 1 million people right now and you had to speak on one thing, what would you speak on?
I would try first and then I would try to figure it out.
You would try first? I would be super excited and I would probably do my productivity PSA, which I have practiced a lot because I'd want to do something that I've practiced before in front of 1 million people. So that's what I would do.
But in a Jimmy Neutron costume, maybe now, right? Look, Peyton's getting his own fan club now. I love it. Now we got to find him a Jimmy Neutron costume. That's awesome. So I saw an interesting comment on or video on LinkedIn the other day because I'm watching more videos on there. I'm trying to replace my doom scrolling with LinkedIn videos versus TikTok. It's not working all that great because there's a lot of really bad videos on LinkedIn right now. People just don't know how to teach, entertain, or nothing. But one of the things they said is, anybody ever notice that productivity coaches aren't very productive? I was like, wow. I actually know quite a few people that are quote unquote, product. That's what they teach, right? Is how to do more thing. And then you really dive into their business and they don't have a business because they're not actually following what they teach. So how do you show that you're implementing the productivity? If
the stuff that I talk about. Yeah. Sometimes I'll actually pick up, it's right here. I've got my binder of this is my daily stuff that I teach, that's in my classes, that's on my website. Like, I'm literally doing it every single day, figuring out exactly what things I'm going to do. I'm running my calendar the way I tell people to run their calendar. You know, I actually have tested and do the things. So maybe that's not the best way, is pick it up and show it to you.
Well,
but
I mean, there is part of it that is a really cool idea, is you're actually showing you're implementing it. But what if you took your podcast, kicked it over to LinkedIn Live, or put that in addition, you showed up in costume and then implemented and actually taught as you were doing the things. So,
cool.
right. So now you're going through and you're teaching the productivity things as you're doing them.
Right.
So every Monday, like, teach me one quick thing on productivity, and when you'd actually implement that.
And when I'd actually implement it. Okay, so the first part of my PSA is to prioritize. So let's say when I might implement that would be either first thing Monday or maybe even Sunday night, of figuring out what are my 3 things for the week that are the most important. And as long as I get those done, the week's a success. If they're all done on Monday, great. I get to decide what I'm doing for the rest of the week, and it could be fun stuff or whatever. But that's kind of figuring out that concept of that prioritizing. So taking a look at what's on the calendar, what's on the schedule, what's most important, what has to happen in order for this week to be successful. And then where am I putting that in the schedule? Where is it actually going to get done? Can't just say it's important. It has to have a spot.
No, I love that. And so now think if you did a live show, maybe on Monday mornings or Sunday night, something. I don't know which one. You can't do 8 o'clock because
I obviously not going to do this time slot.
I mean, you're never going to beat Bernie's mustache. So,
good luck.
But
I'll find the time for sure. I'll find the time.
But if you did like a Monday or Sunday, and you were every day going, or every time you got on, said, okay, PSA, here's my prioritize, here's the 3 things I'm focused on this week, right? And then took them down the different steps, right? There's a theme to it. Or even if you did it as a Monday post, right? With you in an outfit, right? There's a theme to it.
I like the idea of going live, because then it's almost like a what is it, like you're making sure everybody's on.
It's like an accountability
call. That's what it is. That's what I'm trying to do. Because I have an accountability call every Monday at 9:30. So me, Mike Mallon, and Carlos Garcia, we all get on a call and we check in with each other about making sure that we all did the things that we were going to hit on. But if we did that like every Sunday, and then you just get a whole collection of people like Sarah Schroeder's Winning Friday. That's a big one. If you did another one, like these are the 3 things, and then you just come back and comment, or you pin them in the next week, and you're like, hey, I saw you wanted to do this. Did you get that done?
Did it happen? Yeah.
Stuff on there.
And just think about doing it live. Like if you're doing it on StreamYard, now you can pull the comments up on screen.
Yep.
You know, that they said, these are 3 things I'm going to prioritize, and really not call them out, but acknowledge that, hey, this is what you said you were going to do. You know, did you get it done? Tell us in the comments type thing. I love that public accountability. Ruth.
Oh, there you go, Ruth.
Yeah.
It didn't come up for me. What'd she say?
I'm getting it.
So
there we go.
Going live is also your resume for speaking engagements, right?
Nice.
Right. People want to see you, hear you, and the likes, to see if you're actually going to be any good in front of their people. So also, as much as I'm not a big fan of the association, National Speakers Association is a real thing.
Yep. And I know Courtney Ramsey with she's the president of the North Texas chapter right now. And so I send a couple people her way. I can make the connection for you if you'd like.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah,
absolutely.
Put up Mike's comment.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of rattling around my head earlier too when you were talking about prioritization, right? Teaching how to tactically prioritize. We did a hot seat on Friday with Julie around prioritization.
Yeah. I mean, it's a real thing. Like for me, I have a running freaking notepad of the shit that I've got to get done. If it's not written down, it's not getting done, period.
Yeah.
Same.
And last week you said you wanted to do these 3 things: break shit. Yes, 100%.
How'd you do? Did you get that?
Dude,
did you get that done?
I did it 5 times though.
Nailed it, right?
Yeah,
Ooh, above and
most of
beyond.
them not by choice.
Yeah.
That's okay. Sometimes all you got to do is write them down, and then that you get them done.
Yeah, for
Even if
sure.
you didn't like try real hard, you'll still do it because that's what you primed yourself for.
Mm-hmm.
I like PSA. I think that's a fun play.
Oh, thank you.
It's a fun play on words. What's the S and the A?
It's priorities, schedule it, accountability.
Smart. How long is that speech typically?
Right now it's 10 minutes because it's the one that I'm the approved speaker for.
How
But
would you do it for 45?
I could totally do it for 45. You add stories, you extend things. I've got 3 other stuff that I could mix into each one, some additional concepts. So it could totally be expanded.
You can even do it as a workshop, give them 10, 15 minutes to actually
Do the things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's would be my next suggestion, is to start hosting your own workshops. So one of the great things I love about LinkedIn is putting workshops on there. You can invite 1,000 people a week to those workshops as long as they're connected to you.
Yeah.
You know, why it's so important to create a following on there.
John Browning.
It's a public service announcement.
It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are?
Right.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
triggering us, you know, but workshops of all sorts. And I think if you, with your workshops that you were promoting, that you were showing up in a pirate outfit, right? Those type of things.
People would be there just to see that.
Yeah. You know, sometimes people want to watch the show. I think it was KB Toys or Toys R Us, one of the two. The guy built that company selling teddy bears, but the way he sold them, he had suits with teddy bears sewn on the top of all over them, and then he had this big hat, you know, like almost sombrero size hat that he all decked out and everything, and he would walk into offices and sell teddy bears one off
the suit.
well, not off suit, but I mean that he would go in there and peddle teddy bears, you know, out of a box or whatever. But he got in the door with the extravagant outfits and everything else, and then he built, you know, the thing that Amazon destroyed, which was a monstrous toy company, and then you know Amazon became a thing. And G.I. Joe.
That's right.
And now you know, and knowing is half the battle. You can't not say it.
Yeah.
You can't not say it. You have to. If you watched it, you have to.
And with this, you know, I still like going back to what don't you want to teach? Because, you know, like I'd never teach accounting. I'd never teach. I mean, I've taught business finance one time, and I did it because I needed to learn finance better.
Yeah, and he got booed off that same stage. It was crazy.
I actually got a lot of great feedback on that one, but I want no desire to do it again. Just it's not my strong suit, you know, where I want to talk about. So making a list of a whole bunch of things you don't want to talk about is actually very, very, very healthy, because a lot of times figuring out what the thing is knowing what you don't want to do in there. If you want to go after the corporate side of things, networking, of course, is the biggest thing you got to do, but there's also websites dedicated to government trainings and the likes that you can get into. You just have to position yourself, because like Stevie does a lot of corporate speaking. And usually she can land 3 to 4 more gigs off of every speaking engagement she does from doing that. But there's just a lot of a different style of networking to get into those gigs and make it happen. Corporations will also bring you in if the topic fits their overall audience. So, and then it's networking once again, but you got to figure out who the person that brings the training is. Sometimes it's a, you know, middle market manager. Sometimes it's HR, you know, and so you got to figure out who actually needs whatever the topic is you're teaching. I mean, it's not always easy to figure that out.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I first tried to figure out how to get on stages, because it was so damn hard and nobody was giving me a shot, I said, fuck it, and built my own stage, right? It's just a lot easier to build your own audience and do your own thing. It's not easy. It's just easier to do that. Where don't you want to speak?
Where don't I want to speak?
Like I have no desire to speak in front of a bunch of engineers.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with engineers.
Virtual stages as well. Are virtual stages up your alley? Are you against that?
Oh yeah, I like virtual. Virtual is fine. Yeah, totally cool with that. Although I figure I've got to do something with my camera set up so you can see more of the costume. So I'll have to figure that piece out. And
Stevie's not here, which kind of sucks, but Stevie always preaches that you should stand up if you're capable, if you're able to do that, set up your microphone and everything so you're standing for it. And that gives you a full body shot as well. So that helps out.
I really am completely jealous of Tony Robbins' setup. I don't care for Tony very much, right? It's not a bash on him. I don't learn through his style. But standing in front of all those TV monitors like he does is just freaking rad. If you haven't seen it, he has about 500 monitors around a room that's in a complete oval that he can stand in the middle and 360 speak to all these people, and every person's on an individual screen.
That's cool.
I just think it's freaking rad. So whenever, as we continue to grow the company, I'm going to have a wall of TVs that we can, or one huge ass TV that I can stand and talk to. I just think would just be rad to be able to see. And if you're going to do it, then tough crowd, man. Tough crowd. I taught a group of engineers once upon a time, and man, they just don't react to anything. They're
always thinking and asking questions in their head.
But think about a complete setup. Like, could you turn your office into a pirate stage? Right? Could you?
Ooh, fun. Okay.
Right? And create an entire environment, not with the green screens, but with actual elements from go garage sailing, go freaking the Goodwill and everything, and just set up some cool shit. And is there an easy way to do it to where it would be easy to change scenes if you were in a different costume?
Right.
So maybe you pick the pirate first, or whichever one's your favorite, and that's the first scene you build, and work towards that so you have your set. And maybe the pirate thing just becomes the thing.
Could just be the thing.
I also like the ringmaster, though. You brought that one up, and that one's good too.
That one might be easier to decorate with too.
It might. Yeah. I wouldn't want to make it overly circusy striped things, but I'm sure I could find something cool that would give the vibe.
So how would a ringmaster teach PSA?
Oh my gosh, you're the center of your whole schedule. Like, you're controlling what your business is going to be, what your life is going to be. So you gotta be the boss.
Yeah, there's definitely theme alignment there for sure.
Because now you got to coordinate your entire team, all the people, the animals, right?
Exactly.
You hit your cues on time for the trapeze guys. All that kind of stuff. I think that's actually a pretty rad play. To put that all together, because you could play off that a lot. Almost makes me think you could make a different speech depending on the circus activity they do, from the elephant trainers to the trapeze to even the freaking gymnast people that juggle and all that.
Contortionists, the fire breathers. Yeah.
I think that's a really smart idea. There, like, I saw a guy once upon a time. I wish I knew. Not my circus, not my monkeys.
But sometimes it is your circus and your monkeys, and then you've got to do the things.
Saw a guy once upon a time. I wish I could give his name to call him out, but he took his guitar with him up on stage, and he would sing while he trained, and he was fucking hilarious and damn good singer. And I talked to him later, and he gets a lot of gimmicks or a lot of gigs because it's so different and so unique. Like, I guarantee nobody's dressed up as a ringmaster and done a TED talk.
I've not seen that. That's true. Yes.
I don't think TED Talk has the weight that it used to have, because now once it became a franchise and so many people have done speeches now,
Yeah.
you really got to do a speech that completely blows it out of the world to get any, traction there.
Mm-hmm.
If you go watch the average TED Talk video, if they get 1,000 views, they're lucky, right? Very few people get those million views. Yeah. So, what else could you teach as a ringmaster?
What else could I teach as a ringmaster? Well, considering it's the leader of the show, you can really teach almost any type of leadership concept, communication concept, even mindset concept of how you're approaching problems. You could talk about fixing things on the fly, because I'm sure in a circus, the one animal doesn't want to move, or the person is late, or whatever, all of that. So adaptation and how you fix things when they go wrong. So yeah, I think there's a lot that could be taught there.
You got a lot of content.
Mm-hmm. So now it's just, I guess you're right. It's just testing it through maybe webinars to figure out what content people love the most.
Mm-hmm. And potentially just completely owning the concept of the ringmaster, like all your virtual coffees and the likes. It's not hard to show up and put the hat on and a jacket over the top of you. It's the only thing you got to wear. But just totally embrace that environment, because you show up to a virtual coffee and you're in a full ringmaster, you're going to catch somebody's attention real quick.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Right. And you're going to get people talking about you, because have you done a VC with Camille? She comes in a ringmaster outfit, right? It's a cool way to stay top of mind.
It is. I used to, when I was recording the podcast where I dressed up and all this stuff, I had a networking group that would sometimes meet afterwards in person. I didn't always have time to change out of the costume or whatever. So I'd just show up in costume and they'd be like, "Oh, what was on the podcast today? What'd you guys talk about?" Because they knew if I was in a costume, we were recording. So
yeah.
Oh, that's a good point with Ruth too. And the chaos of the circus if there isn't a good ringmaster.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you're just jumping into this, which is always overwhelming. What's the first thing you need to start knocking out?
Yeah, let me hear your top 3 priorities list.
Thanks,
well
bro.
played,
let's see. I'm thinking the first thing I will do is kind of brainstorm some of those talks that have to do with ringmaster and see when I might want to slot those in to just figure out if they fly. The ones that everybody shows up to, that's a popular topic. Nobody shows up and sucks, right? Don't do that one. And then I will figure out what I'm going to do for those lives. So the LinkedIn live, the weekly or whenever accountability type of thing, I'll figure that piece out. And yeah, I think wearing the costume like all the dang time is going to be probably the next one.
Own it.
figure out how I can make it easy enough to throw it on every time I jump on a call. So that, because that's the other piece of costumes, a well done costume is a lot of layers. And if I'm doing a corsetry, I'm lacing stuff up. I can't sit here for 8 hours a day in a corset like that. That's not going to be realistic. So I kind of need to modify how I'm going to approach that so that I'll end up with something that is actually doable and realistic that I could do like in less than 5 minutes to be ready.
All right. Yeah. I'll be making a post in roughly a week to see if you've got these things.
Oh, and I'm going to add one more accountability to this.
Yeah.
I want a workshop scheduled in the next 2 weeks. So like you have to schedule it today for 2 weeks out.
Yes. Okay.
All right. And get it up there.
Okay.
Because most times what I find is a lot of people, and you're not typically this type of person, but if we don't take action on it right now, it'll stay delayed.
Oh, totally agree. Agree. Yeah, totally agree.
Right on. Well, give us your biggest takeaway from the day. We've thrown a bunch of stuff at you, talked about a lot of things, but what's kind of your biggest takeaway from today?
My biggest takeaway is that I think I have something here. Between the costumes and the concepts and the things that I really love to talk about, you all seemed excited about it. The people in the comments were doing a lot of feedback. So I feel like there's definitely potential, which is really great, because I kind of came in like, do I even have something? Does anybody even want to see this? And I feel like maybe people do. So now it's just testing it and refining it and figuring out, what everybody really does want, what's going to be provide the most value.
100%. And then, be looking around your area to find places you can go speak in public, but freaking tell them part of the gimmick is, hey, you're coming in full costume, right?
Yes.
It'll give you at least a second look, right?
Right. At least
Yeah.
Yep.
And I would even, Camille, look back at some of the stuff that you've coached people on, right? Because those are likely to be common challenges that that people will lean into for a workshop.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, well, rock on. We got some events coming up, Mr. Bernie. I know you got
I got one this week. It's actually the season finale of Disruptor Discussions with Jennifer Fry. She's got Jemmy Leganure coming in, and she's going to be talking about how to start your own podcast to develop more business. Then moving into November, I've got my Let's Talk About Suicide event. That's November 14th, 4 p.m. Eastern. Got to talk about suicide, guys. It's unfortunately still happening way too much. And then, a combined webinar that I'm doing with Dr. Ashwin Mehta and Paul Carney called Disruptive Learning, Demystifying Technology and Enabling People to Use AI. So Dr. Ashwin's going to be talking about high-level strategy around learning and development, and then Paul Carney's going to be talking about prompt engineering and how you actually get out of AI what you're looking for. So really excited about those.
Man, you got a whole nother event you haven't even talked about. I'm disappointed, Bernie. When's Champions Lounge?
Oh gosh, yeah, you're right. That is coming up
every fourth Wednesday.
Yep, next week Wednesday. That's right. Nicole Bernardino and I are doing a public Success Champions networking happy hour. Let me pop that in for Peyton to drop to.
Yeah.
So, I got it. Cool. I'll just drop it. Boom. So for people that want interested in that one. So for us, there's always a couple of workshops coming up. I'll just find my profile on LinkedIn. You'll see all the upcoming trainings. But
that's a pop out.
It is. I was trying to get Bernie's event out before I didn't worry about mine much. But the Badass Business Summit is September 19th or 17th through the 19th here in Fort Worth. And it looks like we're going to have a Dress Like a Pirate Day. Which I think would be pretty rad. So
I'm advocating for day 2. Day 2 worked well as Dressed Like a Pirate Day. By day 3, you're kind of tired. Like that's hard to wear a costume all day then.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. So, but I think that'll be fun seeing everybody dressed up in different things. And somebody's going to come in a t-shirt that says, "This is my pirate outfit."
Yeah.
And an eye patch.
Dude, if you cop out and don't come in a freaking full pirate with that mustache, like,
ridicule will be of no end.
Yeah. No, you're not getting off that easy.
I need like a full Commodore hat though.
Oh, night 2 is normally karaoke. Karaoke in costumes is going to be crazy.
So, I think we're going to do karaoke the first night of the summit this year, though. So just break it all up. But maybe Mike can rock a peg leg. Oh, we got to figure out how to make that happen. That's awesome.
That's trade out Trey for just a stick.
Well, guys, we do this every Monday, 8 a.m. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for being here. We will see you guys next week. Go have a badass week. Love you, mean it. See you. Bye.